people were shot at a children's birthday party in California. 4 people were killed, including 3 children. Police say the shooting happened at a banquet hall just before 6 o'clock Saturday night near Stockton, which is south of Sacramento. The victims killed were 8, 9, 14, and 21 years old, and at least 11 others were wounded. Police say about 100 to 150 people were at that party.
This was a large family event. From what we've been told, this was a birthday party for a young child. They were coming together as a family, having a time to enjoy. And
are the suspects considered armed and dangerous?
We still believe, with preliminary investigation, that this incident was a targeted incident, and that there is no possible harm to the community.
Wow, targeted a kid's birthday party. The gunman is still on the loose, as you heard there.
And Nazi, it was a frantic scene, a frantic situation, and even hours later, it's still a very fluid situation. You can see the police lights glistening off in the distance, a sight that no one here wants to see tonight. It was at this strip mall where we're told some of the crowds first ran to. This is where we first saw the scene earlier this afternoon. There was so much adrenaline in the air, but the heartbreak was so palpable. We were on scene less than an hour after the tragedy unfolded, which means we saw those groups of first responders, dozens of police cars, fire engines, and ambulances, and most heartbreakingly, families and mothers sobbing, asking where their kids are. People who live near Thornton Road and Lucille Avenue say it all happened so fast.
That was a lot of gunfire. That was a lot of gunfire.
Lucille Avenue say it all happened so fast.
Is this not a camera? That may just be a light. It may just be a light.
Fast.
That was a lot of gunfire. That was a lot of gunfire.
At least 3 bursts of gunfire, Jason Amoson said, and after a fleet of first responders.
There was probably 10 to 12 ambulances, every fire truck, every police officer.
At first, he didn't know what had happened, but he saw, as we saw, on the cold concrete and under the dark sky, families breaking down into tears.
Afterwards, there was a lot of people that walked out, a lot, yelling for their kids and stuff like that.
For being out here all night, that is what sticks with me too. Those parents who just wanted to know where their kids were. Tragic to know that some will never see their loved ones again. As many of you know, I was born and raised here in San Joaquin County. I have been to the strip mall and been to this neighborhood several times. I have friends who live here. Was actually here just a couple of weeks ago at one of the businesses. To say that they're all stunned. Everyone I know who lives in this community is stunned. In my 9 years of covering crime here in Stockton, this is by far the most heartbreaking, the most terrifying scene I have ever had to be at. To say that this is heartbreaking doesn't even cover all of it. The city is in shock tonight. Live in Stockton, Gabriel Porras, ABC 10.
All right, y'all. It's terrible. 14 shot. 4 dead. 3 of the dead were children. As young as 9. I mean, you guys can see everything here. Again, ground.news is where I get my information, it's my facts. I didn't know what to say until I continued to read. And where did I go? And I got to this one right here, this article right here, which is highly factual and left-leaning, it looks like. The mayor says that the shooting killed 4 people, including 3 children, and injured 11 others, was gang related. There's so much to say in regards to this gang culture, and I didn't want to sit here and automatically be like, yeah, it's black people. I don't know anything about Stockton, so I looked up some stats, some demographics. Apparently Stockton is 40, I think it was like 47, I don't know, 44% Hispanic. 44% Hispanic, and then it's Asians at 20%, then it's white at 17%, then it's black at 11%. There's not even that many black people that live in Stockton. 15% of the population lives below the poverty line. 77% population holds a high school degree or higher. So this is actually kind of crazy. this is kind of crazy that this happened. It's one of those situations, kind of like over here in Georgia, where you see something happening in Sewanee. It's the more affluent, like high income type city. So when you see there's like a shooting and stuff like that in Sewanee, it's just like, whoa, Sewanee, what the heck? Where they do that at? That's crazy. I mean, just going off of the statistics, it doesn't seem like something that normally happens in this area. But the fact that they said it was gang related, I mean, I don't know, with the low poverty line and majority of the people at least holds a high school diploma, I would think that a lot of them, unless they're just out here graduating people left and right, kind of like what we're doing in school now in Georgia, or at least in Gwinnett County. I don't know. So it's this is heartbreaking. And the fact that it's game related, the only thing that I could really think of, just like coming up with a theory at my head, it could have been, and because of the percentage, just throwing it out there, if it was, a Hispanic family that was coming out and doing this type of party, somebody in the family was involved in gang related activities, because gangs just go and shoot up parties, especially kid parties. If it was actually a kid party, I mean, the kids could have just been there. But I don't see gangs really coming up and just doing this out of nowhere. They're coming to aim for somebody, and when you're in that gang life, a lot of times you don't they don't care who's in the crossfire. If gangs cared who was in their crossfire, I can promise you there will be a lot less people that are being killed. Just being at the wrong place at the wrong time, being at the right place at the wrong time. Actually, no, being at the wrong place at the wrong time. Excuse me. We wouldn't see this happen as much if people in gangs and people that's out here shooting and trying to be about that gang culture, about that rap game and stuff like that is they would care. I'm positive they wouldn't care. I'm positive that they don't care who's in the crossfire, or else there would be a lot less people that are dying from these type of situations. And it sucks because I think about these situations and I think about, be me living in New Jersey. I lived in a pretty uppity, not uppity, but a nice calm town, and right next door were some of the hoodest spots. My cousins, they've seen some stuff. My cousins have taken part in some of the stuff. And as they gotten older, then as they have kids and actually have something that they feel they live for, and now they feel like they want to calm down on that stuff. It's like now you calming down, and thankfully enough, it seems like they're out of the situation in which they can get themselves in this type of trouble. It's a scary thing, and it says it right here on Jason Lee expressed devastation, urging support, saying an ice cream shop should never be a place where families fear for their lives. Things can happen anywhere. We know this. You're not 100% safe anywhere. But it's a crazy situation, especially if you're just a friend of somebody and you don't know what's going on. And this is the crazy thing. They say, oh, we can't judge people, this, that, and the third. But depending on how you live your life, depend on the enemies that you make, depend on the friends that you make, and really just how you live your life kind of automatically puts you inside a specific circle of an individual. It kind of labels you in better terms. Unfortunately, I hate that that's the case, but for the safety of individuals, they have to kind of be stereotypical to a degree. Stereotypical, and just go off of the norm of whatever it is that they're kind of observing. To me, and I would suggest this for anybody else, to me, if you have a weapon that you're constantly carrying around with you, and your reasoning is because I have to protect myself, or there's maybe somebody that's after you, or whatever the case may be, or even just the fact that you have to protect yourself, and you're at a party or a kid's party we don't need to talk anymore. Or rather, I'll talk and I'll check up on you. We don't need to be in the same vicinity until you get your life together and figure out what it is that's going on and make some changes. This is the stuff that I'm talking about. People that want to sit here and chase the bag and sit here and chase the money and then feel like they got the brotherhood and the gangs and stuff like that, or be in the rap game trying to make all the quick money and all that stuff, be dope boys or whatever the case may be. Understand that people that have families and people that are actually just trying to live normal lives out here and, just do things the right way, the legal way, for those that don't feel like you have to do everything the right way. We're not about having that situation of you're here and there's a chance that there may be somebody coming after you. We don't have time for that, because at the end of the day, it's going to be your fault as to why somebody came to this area. And then on top of that, you're probably going to live while somebody else dies. Who knows? And the fact that nobody's really said anything is just very interesting, that there's no details, there's no conversations. Maybe they did get the person that, that they were looking for. Or it could be a possibility that they weren't looking for somebody. And it was just, I don't know, some initiation at the end of the day. It's reasons like this that people stay away from certain areas. It's reasons like this that people like me say that I'm not living in certain areas. Like me living in DeKalb County, me living in, the specific neighborhood that I'm in right now. Had it been my decision to be back over here years ago, I would have been like, no. Even just growing up just being in the school system, I refuse to let my daughter go to school in this school system because I don't trust the school system. I don't trust the students. I don't trust the administration to be able to handle every situation. And I'd rather not put my child through that type of scenario. I just don't. And again, things can happen anywhere, but I'd rather have it where the chances of it happening are a lot lower than other places. If I'm dealing with people, if I'm dealing with cousins, if I'm dealing with, I don't know, friends, or I'm at an event and I see something that's sketch, we are leaving. We're leaving because I don't have time for the nonsense. That's called having foresight. Something could pop off you don't even know, but just because you peep that something is off, or there's just an outlier in this mix that could cause some issues, I would rather just not have it. It's a tough situation to be in. And I can see people saying, well, how are you supposed to be Christian and you're just trying to ostracize people and, not include them in your circle, or whatever the case may be. There's a difference between, loving people and caring for people and inviting them into my circle. I don't know, y'all. It's crazy. It's crazy. I have no other words for this situation. But this is happening a lot around the world. And it's really just a matter of economic class, and I guess legal economic class. I don't really see people that are of higher tax bracket getting involved in these things or wanting to get involved in these things because they have other things that they have to take care of. They have more important things they need to take care of. They have families that they need to take care of. None of this gang banging stuff or even going around, even just remotely even thinking about taking somebody else out unless they have some issues going on upstairs in their head. But I don't know. It's crazy. But y'all let me know what y'all think. I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one. Take it easy. Peace.